kill our business. Were we starting to do the intro?
Alright, so this is the 17th episode of Off the Mark podcast. And today, boy, we got our very special guest, Keon, and his lovely fiance? Wife.
Oh, wife. This is not fiance. This is 2 years of marriage. Okay.
Okay, so put some respect on their relationship, y'all. So we got Mr. and Mrs. Clay. Mr. and Mrs. Clay in the building. I want to start off by saying I love the shoes and I love the watch. Is that a Richard Mille or what is that?
Nah. This is you want to tell them since you bought it?
It's just black and gold. That's all. It's regular.
Is it Claire's or is it
It ain't Claire's. It's in the middle of Icebox and Claire's.
Well, this is gonna be pretty boring because I don't know what to buy men, so I just get watches and like chains and rings.
And chains?
I think
like
those
ring
are.
plates and stuff, like gold chains, like.
Okay.
Ain't that what you supposed to get, guys? Them are the easy things, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. Yeah.
Those are the easy things.
But it's like.
But
so
me,
many
I'm not
different
really.
styles.
I'm really not a big jewelry person.
Yeah.
Like I've told her my jewelry list. Like I'd probably have like a tennis necklace, a Cuban, couple watches. I ain't really like into it like a
We're
lot
very
of jewelry.
modest.
Yeah. So just.
That's nice.
Sometimes you need your stun out stuff, and then sometimes you just need something subtle that to add to the outfit.
That's not your love language, gift giving? Do you guys believe in love languages?
Gift giving?
Have you heard of that? You read that book?
Love
No.
language.
Oh, like what is your love language? Like everybody needs to be like loved like differently or something like that, depending on their personality type.
So we laugh about this all the time. Like when Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, and stuff come around, we don't really sweat them because we always constantly thinking about getting each other a gift.
We do it all
Okay.
year.
It
so
might
it's
not be like
Oh,
a
you do it on
crazy
the random?
expensive gift, but yeah, it's on the
Oh, okay.
random. Like if I'm thinking about her, I'm out. I'll get her a card. I'll get her a flower or a teddy bear, and she's out somewhere.
It's just our birthdays and stuff we make ourselves.
yeah.
So it's just like it's extra.
Yeah, so
I feel that.
so when like people like feel the pressure on Christmas and stuff, it's like
It's like, what do you want?
better go look in that closet. You better.
Look at all the price tags in the closet right now.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Thanks.
Wait, so y'all seriously have never heard of love languages?
No.
That's crazy.
I'm
That's
just
very crazy because you guys are like in the open. Whoa.
Whoa! I didn't. No.
Yo.
That's what we in.
Wait, what's happening right now?
I mean, out in the open, like it's like
No. He was about to say open relationship.
You probably mean like, oh, people know.
Yeah. Like I was gonna say exclusive, then I'm like out in the open, but then I skipped some words in between.
People know, but they don't. They know
Yeah.
because it's regular, but we don't post our business.
Yeah,
You guys don't. You guys
Yeah, we
really
stay-
Like
we
we're
stay
like
real
very
subtle.
secluded.
Yeah.
Did you guys post your wedding anywhere?
No.
Where'd you guys get married?
What?
Or unless if y'all talk about it.
No.
It was nice though.
Yes.
That's what's up. That's all I wanted to
Do
know.
you guys have pictures like in y'all like for yourselves? Y'all have pictures?
We have a lot of stuff like okay, this is probably gonna be like this is probably on play. This is probably gonna be like kind of what's the word?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not appropriate or whatever. But like for my birthday, okay. Talking about myself, okay.
Let's go.
I'm covered in tattoos and everything, and I was like, ooh, I want to do like a nude photo shoot for my
Keon,
birthday.
what'd you say about that?
I didn't even know that happened.
And we didn't do it yet, but like, that's just the type of stuff that I want to do, but it's nothing to post. Like a lot of people, they do things for like situationships. Y'all don't really love each other behind closed doors, but y'all posting stuff for Instagram or like y'all posting stuff to talk about socially, but in real life, that's not what y'all doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So wait, how do we get on topic of?
So he asked about love languages and then the photo thing.
Or like just doing stuff for the world.
She went super deep field. Like but I think the reason for subtlety, especially when you're trying to have an outreach and do things, a lot of people, especially negativity, can come into a situation where it don't have to. I think a lot of people open doors. If you look at it, just look at celebrities and all these other things. They don't have a personal life no more because it's so blended with everybody trying to find out or what they think they know about a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And when you keep it closed and you communicate with your partner, that's all that really matters. Like, social media is irrelevant. Like, I'm giving you information, so what? So now you can guess what's going on, but no one knows what's going on behind closed doors except the two partners.
Like, I'll tell y'all something. I had some old lady try to be my friend, basically, to get in my personal space, and she was waiting for me and my ex to break up. You know? And then she felt some type of way because she got flued out. And it's like, girl, he's using you for your social security. He's using you because that's your money and he don't have to use his. Like, you have my sloppy seconds. You're a joke.
Yeah.
You know? But they just waiting. Is it my time now? Is it my time now? Or this is going on.
Yeah.
You know? Or have you ever seen those memes like, just because I post this, don't think I'm really feeling like this or I'm going through this. Because you're going to be confused.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
I've heard it even put to where it's like some lady was telling me one time that I was working for to not say like what it is you're involved in like in your life, just because like she believed in like energy and like vibrations and stuff, and she was saying stuff like just their thoughts will have an impact on your day to day or whatever.
Manifestation.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because if you say something positive, people are thinking negative around you or whatever, so it's better not just to put that out there so you don't get any negative energy reciprocated.
I feel like there's two different insights to it, right? There are some people that say, oh, I want to say I did this after it's achieved. And there are some people that say, I'd rather say I have all these achievements, but I'm not going to tell you unless you ask me because it doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't make me. But it'll be nice, like a nice surprise if you do know about this. It's like boom in your face. You know?
Put it in someone's face.
You know?
Yeah.
You talk about it.
Before we get to the relationship stuff, can you guys tell the audience what you guys do? Like, what is your guys' occupation?
I'm currently working from home. I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a company called Dream Think Achieve, which is a sub company of Dream Think Achieve Empire. And basically the whole outreach of it is to help talent, help people be original. I feel like originality is something that's so dead, and it's just slowly becoming something that's more not thought of, and just like follow the trend, follow this, follow the algorithm. And people are now getting shunned for doing original things. We have so many people that are so great in life, but they don't really get the chance because they're not doing the trendiest dance. They're not conforming their music to how society think music should be played. At this point, it's really about a beat. Like, music is getting so like left field. It's really just a beat at this point. Like, like there's no lyricisms anymore, and there's no message and no art. So what my platform does is give people that opportunity and that chance to actually be a part of a culture that still respects and understands what they're going through. As well as I'm a sneaker reseller, and I do a little bit other like investing stuff on the side.
You resell sneakers?
Yeah.
I'm about to be in a movie about people reselling sneakers.
Word.
I'm learning a lot about like the culture of sneaker selling and stuff. I didn't know people really be making money
Yeah,
out
it's a
that.
$1 trillion
Like,
industry, man.
that's
It's
crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole like investment capital around, like basically like an SP 500. Like, yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
a big thing.
Why'd you get into sneaker selling?
Because I've tried everything, and she can like attest to this. I've tried everything under the moon. I just always knew that like me in a structurally 9-to-5 system just not gonna work. And you gotta still hustle. You gotta still make your bread. So I've always been like here and there dibbling, dabbling in certain stuff. Like I do TCG cards, which is like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I sell those as well. And I always liked sneakers when I was younger, but I kind of drew out of it. And then one day I just was like, yo, how can I take some money that I have right now and start working towards like a new investment? I don't have enough for the stock market yet, but I can do something. So then I started researching sneaker investing and reselling and stuff like that. And I really got hooked on it. Like I really did. I bought my first shoe, which was the Sean Witherspoons. And I went back and flipped those for $1,200, and then it was just like that. I just kept doing research and understanding.
Why do people buy shoes? Because when I think of reselling shoes and shit, it's not like, to me, it's not like an asset or something that I will use. So I'll resell like furniture, or I'll resell like cars, like used cars. But I can't never picture me buying a $1,200 pair of shoes. So why do you think people buy the shoes?
So here's the great thing about this, and it's always something that is bittersweet, and it's the truth. Humans, we are greedy. We love to consume. It's a fact. And sometimes we do things in our commodity that just give us a temporary happiness, and whatever that may be. And you will always have somebody to gravitate and get whatever they want. You can look at women, why they buy makeup, why they buy. You have people that, not even throwing no shame. You know, I got some women listening, but you have women that buy $1,500 purses and can't put $5 in it. Why do they do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's all about what you do and how. I think it's necessarily not what you spend your money on, but always making sure that you have the money to spend on what you're doing. So if you want this lifestyle, grind for it. Don't ever settle. That's my whole thing. So with the whole sneaker thing, I think the reason why people buy $1,200 shoes because of the history is what they like and what they gravitate to. And because of that, that creates a market. It creates a funnel. And also you got supply and demand, you know?
How difficult of a time do you find in reselling the shoes once you get them?
It all depends, man. If it's a hot sneaker, it could be going like that. Like, the thing is now, we've gotten to the point where, one, it kind of happened through Nike and all these stores. It was like kind of their fault. Like, the more they separate people from like going to the store and staying in lines, really hurt the consumer more than it hurt anybody that was going to resell. Because we are going to put in the money to invest and keep flipping. So we don't care about we can't go to the lines, we can't go to the stores. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do our hustle anyway. What hurt is like now people that just want to be the most dedicated to stay at the store in the line to get the shoe. You can't do that no more. Everything's online. Yeah. If a shoe comes out at 7 o'clock, if you up at 7:01, don't even try. Go back to bed. Like, you missed it.
Yeah.
You got so many ways now. You got sneaker bots. You just got mad people that we call them. I'm going to blank. Clips. So basically, like, people that hit 50 clips, and that means like 50 pairs of shoes, because they invest into the technology to do those things. You know. So now that's what created that funnel of reselling. Because there is no more going into your local Foot Locker or whatever and just grabbing the Jordans off the shelf. You're going to grab whatever's there, which is the generic whatever, but you're not going to get the Jordan 1 Dior's just because you walked into the store. Yeah. They're sold out. And at 7:01, all sites are crashing, you know?
That's wild.
So
how do you feel about that tactic when people be like stockpiling these sneakers like less than a minute after they get released?
It's the same way I feel about PS5s, man. Like,
that too. That's what
at the end of the day, bro, I literally tell, like, I was into it at first. I had a couple. I sold them right away. I didn't even come to my house. I straight shipped them out. But after a while, I honestly thought that this phrase was going to be over in, like, what did I give you? Like 2 months? About 2-3 months after the PS5, I was like, oh, they're going to be on shelves for everybody. They're not going to keep getting scalped like that.
And it's past the whole year.
Yeah, now it's past the whole year, and people still can't just, like, go get a PS5 and put it on layaway. Like, it's bad. Like, I talk to people that constantly still buy them, and the thing is that as long as they keep making, I guess, I don't know if it's an excuse or not, that they don't have enough chips or technology or whatever, it is now what we call supply and demand. If supply and demand is always going to be there, then the demand is going to be high. So if you take the supply, you can raise the price and do whatever you want with it. And it's just a hustle, man. It's just like everybody has a hustle, you know? You could get mad at it, but like at the end of the day, it's like, this is how I'm feeding my family. So can you really get mad at me? Like, you could go find them if you want them. Like, that's what life is. If you want something, you got to go get it. Like,
how'd you start on the sneaker thing? Because I feel like for stuff like that, like the PS5, I feel like you always got to know somebody.
So
that gets you started.
So it's so many ways to get into the sneaker business, man. So first, you could do Facebook pages. That's the best way, and just hit people up and just see what's going on. And I think the best scholar ever is YouTube. I don't think no professor is out teaching YouTube at this point. Like, YouTube would teach you how to build a whole mansion from scratch, like, if you look hard enough. So that's what I did. I just looked at some of the top people and their YouTubes in the beginning, how to do sneakers and stuff like that. And I started there. I got in Facebook pages. Another great thing is Discord groups. That is how, if you really want to get serious in the game, you need to be a part of a good Discord group, because they're going to get the information that no one else has. When shock drops are going to happen, when restocks are going to happen, things of that nature. Even getting you the I forgot what it's called. It's like the IN number for the serial number of the sneaker. So when you go on the website, copying and pasting that so it comes up faster than trying to search the shoe and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a whole system. It's a whole metric behind it.
Have you met people on Discord, like in real life or in any of the sneaker selling circles? Have you met friends?
Yeah. Just in this area, like, I wouldn't say I'm a top seller because I kind of stopped and put my investments in something else. But at one point, I was like moving shoes constantly like that. So I have met some really cool people at sneaker events and on these Facebook pages and stuff like that. Yeah,
That's dope.
Yeah.
So do you just buy a few shoes, then what do? You like clean them up and stuff and then
No,
post
so
them?
sneaker reselling is, people think of resale, they instantly think of something used and getting resold.
That's what I was thinking.
No.
when I said
So
that.
you do have that market, and I did try it, and fortunately I got my money back and I broke even. But I did do that. I tried that on a pair of Legend Blues 11s. I got them for a really low price, and I was like, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, these definitely gonna resell, like, easily. They iced out. The dude, like, did his best job, but the thing is, like he said, some people just don't want to wear something that's on somebody else's feet. So me, I'm personally into what's called dead stock. Dead stock is you're buying the shoe as is. Like, when you buy the shoe, you don't touch it. It's near mint. So for the next person. So let's say you want these on my feet, right?
Give me them.
You got 1,400 for me? You got 14 for me?
Nah, but I got 3 homies.
Alright, but I'm just saying. So like, what happened was you went to the store, you tried to get them. I got them. They're near mint in your size. That is what's reselling, in the sense of what I do. But you do have people that do go for the used and they fix them up, and there's a market for that. But for me, that's worked personally for me is dead stock, buying the shoe straight out, fresh and new, and just reselling it. So the how you make a profit on that is you get the shoe at retail. You wake up earlier, you're more diligent, you do whatever you got to do, you get the shoe retail, and now you sell it on the resale market.
So you can upsell it for probably like $100, $200, $300, whatever
Or
people
thousands
are.
of
Yeah.
dollars.
My highest profit on a shoe, I think, was $1,000, about $1,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where do you sell them on Amazon or like?
No.
Or
You sell them
websites?
on Facebook. You can sell them on Facebook, trying to help people out. If you want to get into sneaker reselling, if you sell on GOAT or StockX, they're going to take almost, what is it, like 4 fees at this point on StockX, and I think GOAT has like 3 or so. But yeah, you want to sell. What I personally like doing is selling locally.
No taxes.
Yeah, no
not
taxes, not tracked, stuff like that.
Oh, so
Straight
you're
hard
like
money.
meeting these people?
Huh?
Is that what you mean by
Yeah,
locally?
you just meet
Okay.
people. It's like I always call it the legal drug deal. That's what it is. Like it's the equivalent of if you was doing a drug deal, it would look the exact same. But just I'm handing out shoes. Like we're meeting up at a location
Cash?
at a store. Yeah, they break out the cash. I bring out the sneaks.
Very, very public.
Yeah, you always want to do it in a public area. You just always anything you do, you have to be mindful of your surroundings. You know.
Yeah,
Never
for
pick
sure.
some like shady. place to
Anything
live.
sketchy ever happen?
No, not for me personally.
Good.
But like,
Cool.
yeah, I've heard some
Lucky.
stories. You know, people
I got
that jump.
I got
It's
robbed.
like-
I got robbed delivering a pizza one time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it gets crazy. Like you got to think, like you said, asset. These shoes going for $600, $700. If somebody knows that, you just got to be mindful of your surroundings because it's like that's a lick, that's a come up. You know what I mean?
I would only be delivering shoes outside of police stations.
Even if that happens, some people really only deliver shoes in those circumstances. Like you have to be mindful. Having like a cool thing to have is getting you black light to make sure you're checking your shoes to see if they're real or fake.
Mhm.
Also, the counterfeit money thing
Yeah.
happens. You got to get you a marker. You know, just be mindful
Definitely.
of certain things.
I feel it.
Yeah.
You tried Zelle?
Yeah, I Zelle sometimes. I do. I work with whoever I have. You know,
I
I
feel
would
that.
prefer cash because of the situation. You know, and like until I get everything accounted for, I do keep a spreadsheet. But until I get everything accounted for, and I'm really doing it super hard every day, and it's like this is my only source of income or a major source of income for me, then it's like, yeah, I need to make sure that I'm like obviously getting taxed on it so I can do what I need to do. You know, and put it as income.
Yeah.
But for right now, yeah, it's just like cash is definitely the move.
The first I heard of it was when my girl told me. She was like, we woke up or whatever, or I woke up and she was up on like the Nike website waiting until like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I'm on a lottery or something. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
what?
can you can ask her. When I first made my first deal,
He
I
was so
like,
happy.
I was like, I'm done with this work. I'm done with this work shit. Like I just made a paycheck in one flip. Like
Hell yeah.
what is work? Like, you get $100 shoe and sell it for $600. That's a $500 profit in a day.
Damn. That's
Like-
wild.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, her parents got like a lot of shoes too.
Yeah.
I put up at her crib or whatever, their garage, like their whole wall or whatever is just like, I don't know, however many sneakers they got and her sneakers and stuff. But she don't be reselling them like that. She just like
Some people
likes
keep
to have
them. Some people actually keep shoes dead stock and not wear them.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'll ever be that way. I do have a pair of shoes I haven't worn yet because I don't think the occasion has arisen.
Yeah.
So, but they will be worn. There are some people that literally buy sneakers to put them up as art. Like some people look at sneakers as art because, in a sense, they are. Like if you know,
As the years go on.
if they years go on, how the shoe was made, the material of the shoe, the people behind the shoe. Like look at Off-Whites now.
Yeah.
Virgil's gone and stuff like that. So Off-White is now history. It's a piece of history in his art, you know?
Yeah.
that's
The
like-
value be going up too like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kobe's went up. Off-White. It's so sad. I tell her all the time, it's like, it's so sad that people get roses when they're gone. Like, a pair of LeBrons now that you find for dirt cheap, when he's gone, not saying anything, they're gonna rise in price, they're gonna rise in value. Same thing as
feel
Kobe's,
it, yeah.
Jordans especially. Like it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So
My girl's fun.
when you first got into the reselling business, was Najee like supportive of you, or did she not understand it?
So we have a really, and I'm so like blessed to have such a beautiful relationship with someone that understands and is willing to have an ear to listen. We have a very like good relationship when it comes to finances and each other's finances. And our biggest rule of thumb is like whatever you want to do, you work hard for it, go do it. As long as it does not intervene with you needing assistance or help in a sense that you did something that was reckless, you know? So for me, I make an investment, I make sure I relay this information, and she's very about numbers and it makes sense, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's an investment. For the longest time, I think for my first year in the sneaker business, I didn't keep a single pair of shoes. Then I went out and just got me a whole collection for like, what was my birthday, Christmas? What was it, Christmas or something like that?
It was Christmas.
Christmas, I went and got my collection finally.
Fucking 12 pairs. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I went and got my
excuse
collection.
me.
But like, that's the thing, you just have to, like we have that communication, like her hobbies and what she likes to do, you work hard for that, go do it. You only get really one life. And I know that's cliche, but it's the truth, you know? So like, we don't really have a discussion when it comes to finances on that part. We
Long
always
story
say-
short, it's not controlling because we both have our own stuff.
Yeah.
And it does not affect the household.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't affect the household in any type of way, then we don't really have any like discussions when it comes to finances.
You guys stay together?
Yeah.
When you guys have your own apartment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys first decided you were gonna move in together, did you guys have the same relationship in terms of like finances and stuff as well? Like were you guys always like on the same page and had a system?
We met both at an independent place.
Okay.
in our life.
We've been through some crappy things.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat and say everything's been easy, but like we both met at a place where we were both like
Where we can appreciate each other
Yeah.
because of the stuff that we've been through with other people. Basically. So it's like even though we just turned 25, you know what I'm saying? We are still young, but we're really mature in the head. You know? So, I
So-
don't know, you just look at things different,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
So when you guys, I guess, started talking or whatever, were you guys looking for a relationship or just kind of
No.
over time?
No, you feel
No.
like I kind of told the story, kind of, but you can tell it.
So no, I
It's
wasn't.
so weird.
Me in my life, I was in a dark, well, not a dark place, but I was in a place of where I even told my mom, and she cried on the phone. But like, I was just like, yo, I've been cheated on for the last time. I'm done with this love shit. Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci on that. I'm just about to live my life and be me, whatever. And yeah, I was doing choreography in Japan, and when I moved over to California, this guy hit me up. He was like, yo, I seen your work. I would love to work with you. And I was like, bet, I'll hit you up if I ever have anything that like I think that you'd be suitable for, that we would work together on. And I had an artist that I did work for previously, and he was like, yo, I need you to do this song for me. And I came up with this concept, and I was like, I kind of need a female model for this. And I just moved to California, so I didn't have really any connects like that other than people in LA. So I hit this guy up, and I was like, yo, you can film for me, but do you have any models that you can like recommend me? And the crazy thing is, he only sent me her profile. And he works with other models, but he only sent me her profile. And it was so crazy. Like, I messaged her. She sent me her number. I was at the gym. She sent me her number. I instantly called. I'm one of those people. I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm like, cut all the BS aside. Like, if I
try to get straight to it and get stuff done.
get straight to it. Like, what we texting for if it's business, like, or whatever. Like, I ain't got time for all that. Let's just get to what we need to get to. So I called her, and it was so crazy. We talked about everything under the moon but the project. We never talked. So we just start talking, like, and we talked for like almost 5 to 6 hours. Like, I went to bed at like 4 or something, and we just talked and talked and talked. And the crazy thing is, we never met. She knew this guy for I don't know how long, and I knew this guy. We never met this guy in person. He hooked us up, and we never met him in person. We never did.
Till this day?
Since AKA New Kid.
Till this day?
Yeah,
to this day.
Since AKA New Kid, he put us together.
Did you guys thank him?
No.
I did.
she
I
did.
did. We were supposed to go on a double date. You know me. I always try to like plan double date him and his wife and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys first got off the phone that first day, did you guys do that thing that they do in the movies when they hang up the phone? They're like, and then they like go to sleep because they know like.
No. I literally called my mom the next day.
I found her, mama.
And I was just like, I told the homies, I told everybody, and I was like, yo, nothing's serious right now, but if I ever got serious with this girl, bro, and I'm telling you everything I love, bro, I'm off the market. Like, I knew that, like, it was just something that was so different and so unique about that conversation that it was just like, yo, if I do decide to go serious with her, like, I'm done. Like, this is it. Like, this is the end of the road for me and relationships and all that type of stuff. And I told my mom, too. She was like, well, if it's like that, you know, it comes. And I was like, I wasn't searching for it at all. So that's why I knew it was so, like, natural in being, because I wasn't searching for it. And, like, literally at all. I was doing my best to avoid it, in a sense.
Did you ever try to stop yourself? Because since you know.
Yes.
Yeah. As all men do, like, if you get hurt. So my thing is, and we both, the crazy thing I think that makes us so compatible is our pain. The things that we've been through in life when it comes to giving ourselves out to people and trying to be the best we can for someone else that don't deserve it. So with that being said, it was like, yeah, you definitely have doubts when you really think you found something, but like, do I go back into this same cycle that I was just in? Like, I've been in 5 relationships. all 5 of them cheated on me in the worst way.
Golly.
So,
Jeez.
and the thing is, the reason I like 5, like people are like, man, that's small or whatever, because I'm not the type to jump into like a puppy dog relationship or something fake. If I say I'm with you, I'm with you, and like the only way this is messing up if you mess it up. Like I'm in it for the long haul, and she's the same way. So it was like when she went through the stuff she was going through and the stuff I was going through. Of course we have doubts because it's like, man, like, do we go through this BS again? Like, cause we're both at the point we're like, yo, if it don't work this one last time, that's it. Like I'm done. Like I don't care when nobody come around, whatever. Like this is just, it ends with us.
Yeah.
So, being that you're the type to get straight to the point, when y'all was the first time that you guys met up, was the business with the choreography thing, or did you guys meet up before that to like?
No,
feel each
so
other?
we end up meeting up because we said we was gonna try and talk about the project again, but we ended up on a mini date to December nights. We got there late. So here's the thing.
Parking.
We got there late, no parking. As you know, that's
Y'all being late seemed like part of y'all relationship.
no, this is her. I always, bro. That's why I asked about details and time because I swear I would have been here 15 minutes early. That's just how I am. I hate being at a place late because now I feel like you gotta just like mix and mingle and try to get in. When you get in, when everybody comes in, that's an introduction right there.
Yeah.
Instantly at the door. When you come in late, it's like not everybody eyes on you. Like, oh man, like I gotta introduce myself and all this other stuff.
Wait, where'd you say you guys were gonna meet up?
So we were supposed to meet up at December nights down in San Diego at the downtown.
Y'all weren't gonna do business. What are y'all doing?
That's what I'm saying. So that's the crazy thing. So we were supposed to meet up and do that, but we got there late, and we end up going to the where I proposed to her to at the Comic-Con stairs. I don't like where Comic-Con used to be at.
Yeah.
So the stairs, there used to be a
The back
table
side
right
or the
there.
front side?
The front side.
The front side.
Used to be a table right there. And then we talked again for hours about everything but the project yet again. So I was like, you know what? This project thing just not going to happen at this point. But it was weird because she was so mellow or whatever was going on with her. She
was
gave
high?
off of like a repulse. Maybe, I don't know. She gave off a repulse that like she wasn't feeling your boy. So I was like, maybe this ain't, you know?
That was the first day?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
just kind of backed off, you know? I mean, not game, but just understanding, like, you don't want to be no thirsty, you know? And like,
Yeah.
so I kind of backed off. I didn't feel the vibe, so I was like, I didn't even know if I should hug her at the end of the night. Like, it was super awkward.
How did it end? Was it like?
So it was
do this
super
again?
awkward. I dropped her off. It was like super awkward.
No kiss, no
No,
hug,
nothing. So it was like magical moment talking. Magical moment talking. I don't know if she hit the vape pen or what, but like when we got back in the car, she was so chill and so mellow. Like she didn't want. It like felt like she didn't want to be bothered. I was like, do I touch this girl? Like I don't know. So yeah, and she ended up texting me and was like, so like, what you thought about that night and everything like that? And it was just like, I don't really know. I didn't think you was feeling me. That's why I stopped messaging you. I mean, I don't want to overstep boundaries.
How did you feel about that night?
Like he said,
I was the same way.
I used to be on the vape pen. So when I was like that, I'm zoned out and very chill and just spaced out. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm more reserved than just on a regular. But because of my jobs, I haven't done that in so long because I don't have time to just relax and whatever. So, I don't know, but you know me. How did you feel? Thank you for taking me out. Like, and yeah, so, and that was so long ago, so it's not like I remember exactly. But this is what I will tell y'all. We gonna give you the exclusive, okay? So, it's not like we hung out or I spent the night the first time and we messed around. That didn't happen. And then he always says, you stuck in my head because you were talking about cereal or whatever.
So
Singer, I'm using that. Not to like toot my own horn, but this time I was doing my thing.
He was a tramp.
I was doing my thing.
He was a trans? What?
No.
Tramp.
Oh,
okay,
I'm doing my
yeah.
thing.
I
He
understand.
was single.
You're on-
I was single.
you're on the come up.
So,
So I'm doing my thing, and I've never in my life had a woman sleep with me and talk about cereal. Like, that's so weird.
Like, wow.
She was like, no, like, it was like.
I had all the intentions.
She's like, to this day, she's like, I had no intentions to doing anything with you.
No, I'm just hanging out.
And we're
chilling,
like,
watching
she's
TV,
literally,
just
she goes
talking.
to sleep and she's talking about all these foods. She's like, just being goofy. And I'm
Damn, I want some frosted
like,
flakes right now.
Yo, like,
So serious.
I
this
feel about
stuck
Honey
in my
Bunches.
head. I'm like,
No.
and because of that, I was just like, yo, this is real. Like, she's sleeping with me, like we together type, like we ain't in the intimate phase or nothing. So it was super weird for a girl to sleep with me and like talk about cereal. Like,
She's like, you know, it would be really nice if you got a big gallon jug
No,
of milk,
I'm so
poured it on me,
serious.
put some
That's how I
frosted
was.
flakes on me, you licked it off.
it was just
That's
like,
how it was.
I like cereal and waffles, like on some simple shit. I'm like, what is going on?
I'm dead.
Yeah, so
That's funny.
So it made me stick out from all the other little.
yeah.
Oh, that was on purpose?
No, I'm not.
That was on purpose?
I was talking.
You're trying to be memorable.
No, I was
She's like, what can I say?
No, she was just so natural and pure and just being herself and being honest. And I think that's what I respect about her. She wasn't trying or forcing anything. She was just being herself and being truthful in who she was.
Nice.
And you can't help but to respect something like that. You know what I mean?
Were you doing the same thing, or did you feel like you kind of had to like play up a little?
No,
bit?
I didn't. I tried to be as authentic to myself as possible because at the end of the day, people are going to find out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you like anime, I like anime.
Dope.
Ain't no point of
Saw the
hiding.
tattoo.
Thank you. Ain't no point of hiding it. Why? Like people, why are you doing that? You want to be with somebody. The only problem I had is I was scared. I remember I was scared that I like, for some reason, especially in San Diego, telling somebody you was in the military,
Red flag.
you get no, especially in the Marine Corps,
What?
you get no play whatsoever. So when I first came to San Diego, it was really bad. Like, if I wanted to talk to somebody or we wanted to meet up or link up or something like that, like bringing up the military was the last option. Like,
But I already knew
That's
because
true.
people they have a certain walk and demeanor.
so it was so weird. So that was the only thing. That's like my dreaded secret to tell anybody.
Wait,
like,
why is
yo,
that a bad
Why do you
thing?
think that is?
I'm telling you, I told her, like, people like on go, and then like I would bring up the military thing, ghosted. And I don't know because military dudes out here was dogging or
Yeah,
what,
That's what it is.
Probably.
but
We're probably all fuckboys.
but it was bad. Like, soon as I would bring that up, it was like, haha, you're so cute, you're so funny, until like, you're in the military? And I'm like, yeah. But I'm not like one of, my biggest thing was like, and I tell her, I'm not like one of the military dudes though. I'm different, you know? Because I'm different in all types of ways of, I guess, what a traditional person in the military would be like. Like, I'm not so like gun-ho, I'm not esprit de corps, I'm not all that type of stuff. My intentions ain't to go kill in Afghanistan. Like, I'm not like that at all. So it was just like, that was
It's my sneakerhead girlfriend, by the way.
oh, that's what's up?
Yeah, hi.
So,
Show them the shoes. Like,
so did the project ever get done or not?
No.
No. One thing I don't think I can necessarily work with somebody that I'm like talking to.
Because even when we have photo shoots, it works, but it don't work.
Like, she's a director.
Business does not work with us.
That,
We do business two different
I think that's like a pro and con of a power couple. If you got two people that are directive and very strong minded, it can kind of go like left field on direction. Like, who's taking over in charge of what and doing what. And all
Would
that
you
type of
guys
stuff.
consider yourselves to be a power couple? Because we were thinking about that before you guys came. We were trying to psychoanalyze you guys, like based off what we.
I would
Say
say,
that, but
I would
we're-
say, hold on,
'Cause-
not to
look,
be,
look, look,
be
look,
so humble, but I
From-
would say yes.
from-
For our
from-
age, yeah.
From yeah. So relative to like all the other relationships
Oh, yeah.
that I know and that I've been exposed to,
Yeah.
especially in our age group, I would say, like even more so now that I know a little bit more about y'all, that y'all are like a power couple. Y'all got y'all shit together.
I
It
mean-
seems like y'all got y'all minds and y'all focus on the right things. So I would say that to me, y'all be like
Yeah, I
Jay-Z.
mean, I feel like with our mindset,
Yeah, so-
when we're going in like the things that we're doing and having me being a published author and all the stuff that I've done and accomplished and all the stuff that she's helped me accomplish and all the stuff she's done on her own, I don't really see other couples at our age thinking like that, you know, like really thinking about investment, thinking about the future, and really like pushing that agenda. It's really, and she says it all the time, like people our age still think about like, oh, you got time, you know, you could go F off and do all this other stuff, and I mean, yeah, you do, but at the same time, it's great to have somebody that's on the same wavelength of me. Like, I go make something, and then she go do something. Now I'm more motivated to go do something because I don't ever want to. I always wanted to be here, you know.
Yeah.
So like it keeps you constantly.
It's a
driving.
healthy competition.
Yeah, it keeps you constantly moving and grinding towards something else, you know.
So when you got with her and your relationship started getting deep, because my problem with females is, like, I get a lot of females too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so like you used to be. But when I do find a girl that I really like I like a lot, it's like my focus shifts from like my purpose to her. So she becomes my purpose, and then she doesn't do like with someone like an Najee, she doesn't do like other things.
So here's my thing is with that is what was
That's
so
not
great.
good.
So it's
It's not.
So what's so great about her is not only did she come in my life and drive me, she motivated me because the military is so dragging. I got to the point where like I'm a choreographer, so like I get off work, I'm late, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, and I'm making this excuse in my life like all this is gonna be on pause. Life is gonna be on pause. I'm gonna pick it up when I get out of the military, whatever. And I meet this girl who's working, I don't know if you want to know, but like
a whole bunch of jobs.
a whole bunch of jobs. Like I'm working
still taking care of family.
full-time student, writing poetry, doing 5 different
My
acting
business.
stuff. And it's like, yo, I'm complaining about just going to work and coming home. Like it literally, and I tell her all the time, she's the driving force behind me, like writing my book and who I am today, because like her dedication and how she could do so much, it was just like, yo, you gotta get off your ass. Like it's no way possible that you could feel comfortable in this like even like relationship or talking to this person at all and not like do more than what you're doing right now, you know?
Yeah.
So
But we're not perfect. Like, I definitely had my reasons why I was so crazy because I had insomnia for a while.
Damn.
This man, I didn't know what taking naps was until, like, we were together because, like, you know, you go through bad family traumas or just things in life. So I would gamble, shop, or be a workaholic. Or, you know, just create things and do business stuff to take my mind off of stuff. So I literally crashed, like, last year. I crashed, like, I was like, my body's aching. I have a headache. Like, I had to go to the hospital and get a shot because they were like, we can't diagnose anything wrong with you. They could just say my body was crashing.
Yeah.
I
Burnt
overworked
out.
myself.
Yeah, and I tell her that all the time. Like, you have to be mindful about works. You gotta just work smarter, not harder sometimes. And just sometimes it's okay to put yourself on a relaxing period. It's okay to relax sometimes, you know? Like, I'm not saying that we made it, but like we're ahead of the curve. So sometimes it's like just acknowledge what you've done and your accomplishments and just chill. You know
Appreciation.
what I mean? Just chill, you know what I mean?
So God forbid, knock on wood, you guys are relatively newlywed. Do you think that if you guys were to separate or anything like that, that you would lose motivation to do the things that you guys do
I don't
separately?
think so.
No.
I don't think I would. I don't think he would.
No.
Because what I was going to say about you and the whole girl thing, nobody should ever let you give them all their energy. Me personally, I don't like that. I want you over there a little bit, you know, and I'm going to do what I do. I feel like two people should contribute to each other, but I don't want you giving me all your time, you know? And if you are giving me your time, I better be teaching you something or giving you something to add on to whatever you already do. Because that's boring. Why are you under me? I don't have a kid yet. I personally feel like.
You just have to like understand value. Like it's a difference you hanging out with the boys all the time, she hanging out with the girls all the time. You kind of just have to have a respect for someone that's doing something that not only because you're with them, you're gonna benefit too from it.
Like, have you heard of energy vampires?
Yeah.
You know,
Sort of.
relationships can be like
some
that.
people
Family
some
members,
people
friends.
some people in relationships literally get mad if their partner is doing something productive. Like Why are you
Story
going
of my
to
life.
school? Like, you should be doing this with me. Like, you hear about it all the time. And it's like, yo, like, I can't produce. And one of the things is like, get you somebody, and as hard as it is, even if you like this person, understand where they want to be. I'm not saying you got to be where I want to be, but you got to have something that you're driving towards. Or it's just not going to work, just personally for myself, because the thing is, your household is your sanctity. And if you have somebody, you already got the outside world, this way I look at it. You already got the outside world beating you up, telling you can't do this, you need to do that, what you're doing, da-da-da-da-da. You don't need to go in your house in your sanctity where you think your mind is safe from all the negativity and have your partner on the couch telling you when you're trying to get up and do something for yourself, like, what are you doing, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to drag you down. So always get you a partner that you both are on equal wavelength or where you need to be in life. And they understand that. So it's never a confusion.
Yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't seem like a long-term, like something that'd be beneficial long-term, just to have your whole life be like your identity is somebody else, because then
Yeah.
you don't have that person, then you don't have your own identity.
Yeah, you don't have your
I mean, you can't be complete with another person if you don't know yourself, you know? And that's why a lot of people jump from relationship to relationship, because my own mom did it. A lot of people do it. And it's because you don't know how to be by yourself. Me, if I'm not with you, I've been through some really crazy things. Like people living whole double life type stuff, okay? And it took me years to get over, okay? And I was like, okay, so it's gonna be alright. Like, you learn who you are as a person, and then what you want, and then what you look for, you know, or what works for you, or what you want to contribute next time. And that's why I said the next relationship that we got into, which was us, we just appreciate each other more and look at each other different because we were able to understand instead of going from relationship to relationship to relationship, you know? So.
But yeah, it's at this point, like, in my life, I really can't. Like, you know how, like, people can see different futures and, like, what would happen if this happened and what that happened? I've told her this, like, it's gotten to a point now I can't see a future whether I lost it all today or I became a billionaire, like, where she's not there, you know what I mean? So, like, I can't see a separation. Like, literally, I can't see a future where I'm not with her at this point in my life.
That's beautiful.
How'd you guys? Because you said you have to be able to like be by yourself first before you're with somebody else. Isn't there like, I don't know if you guys were there, but isn't there a certain point where you get used to being by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
you
like
kind of
that.
don't want anybody else.
Yeah. I've gotten like that.
She's more so like that.
Oh, lover boy.
She's more so like that, and I'm the type where,
He's fluid. Okay, let's go.
yeah, I'm the type where like she can get like that. She can get in her mode. I'm the type where the reason why I felt like at the end of the day that I felt like I needed a relationship. Not even that I was wanting one, but that what makes me better is finally someone I can communicate with and be truly like myself. Not saying I was running game on every person I was talking to, but like it gets to a point where like you sleep with this person, you sleep with this person, whatever, you're out this way and you're out this way, and you're around so many people but feel so empty. And so like it's beautiful to have somebody that you can communicate to and be around that makes you feel whole and feel like worth the value and time to give into that person. There's no point of giving your value or time into somebody that you know that's not going to be there. What I look like shedding my life story to somebody that I'm not going to be around in a month or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So actually knowing that I found something of value that I can like be myself, have fun with, joke around, and share a personality at this point, you know, and find an emotional connection. Physical connections are easy. Emotional connection is very hard.
Yeah.
So like that's what I think she brought to the table for me. That was really strong for me. Is the emotional connection and that like that connectivity to have with someone again.
That's cool. It definitely doesn't seem like that's the popular stance that the general population is taking these days.
We're like old people.
Not at all.
But we're not old.
Seems like it works though.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So when you guys got together and you said, not to bring up open wounds, but you said that you were cheated on 5 times. She said she been through some things in her past.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys had those conversations in the beginning, correct? Like,
Yeah.
And then, so, did you guys do the whole thing where, like, you tell the person what red flags you experienced in a prior relationship, and then do you say, hey, I'm seeing this from you, the same thing that I seen in another person before, and then
It all happened.
okay, so
I
then
feel like-
and then are you actively like in your head? Let's say you're the one that's doing something that she has a prior negative experience with.
Mm-hmm.
Are you actively in your head taking a note and saying, I need to work on this?
Yeah, I always try to be better every day. You're not gonna be perfect, but try to be better every day. And if you could do that for your partner, then you're doing your part. You're doing what you need to do. You know, if there's something that comes up, you handle it, you address it, and you always take a mental note, and that's just showing value and that you care about your partner. You know, if you don't like that, then like, okay, let me work on that. Let me fix it. You know, let me get a little bit better. And she does the same thing. You know, but yeah, for every single relationship I've ever been on, and that's why it hits deeper, because when you are transparent with somebody, and it's like, this person did me like this, and this, and they say, oh, that's so bad. Like, why would they ever?
Yeah.
And then they go do this, and this. It's like,
It sucks, right?
did I give you the idea?
We all go through that. You
You
know?
got the blueprint.
And you expect the person not to do that. But I think, like myself or just people in general, we allow ourselves to keep going through those hurtful things because we're used to it. Because it happened to us so much, so it just happens out of repetitiveness.
Yeah,
I've heard we love you, so we forgive you.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard that psychology too, that it's more about what you're familiar with and like what you feel is like good for you. So like what you received growing up, or like what relationships you got.
That ties into what she was saying, like being by yourself. Because when you be by yourself, you end to love yourself, and I tell her all the time, we be watching something on TV and we'll see like Diary of a Mad Black Woman or something like that, and I tell her all the time, she's like, would I ever be in that situation? And I'm like, no, because you love yourself and you're independent, and you would never let a man that didn't give you value ever be around you. I'm in this place because I've earned to be here. Like, you would never put yourself in a place where you didn't need to be. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't do vice versa. And that comes from that time being alone and understanding your value. And I think that's what happens when people jump in a relationship so quick. They don't understand their value. So things that are red flags, you ignore them because it's like, I still need this person.
Or let me ask y'all something. Even when you get into new things and things that you see are good, but it's too good to be true, have you guys ran away from it?
No.
Or it's like, it's kind of weird?
I don't run away from anything good for me.
Okay, well, there are a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to it.
Yeah, that's usually my side. Yeah, they be like, why are you doing this? This is too good. I'm not used to this. And sometimes it's sad. It'd be simple stuff. Like, even if we weren't in a relationship, I'd still like do these things for you. And then for you, this is the greatest thing in the world. And now you're like, something's going on. You must be trying to compensate for something else.
It's really
And
sad.
I think that's sad. Yeah.
Because that just comes with people
It's our
just not
logic.
understanding what they're worth at the end of the day. Solo, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone, if you're a good person and you genuinely have given yourself and you've done everything that you can to be the best partner for yourself, not necessarily because it didn't work out for that person, that it's what I did wrong. I went through that so many times in life where it was like, what did I do wrong? And sometimes it's not about what you did wrong. That person just didn't deserve you. And you need to go find someone that does, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just like the relationship tip. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about? Or we just the relationship segment?
This is just getting a little bit interesting.
Okay.
You can stop us at any time.
No, bro,
You
do
done
your
with it.
thing.
So I just want to piggyback off that question as well. So one thing that I don't like doing, so a problem I always have in my relationships is I'm not big on communication as far as like checking in with my girl, like telling her where I'm about to go, A, B, C, and D. And I always have a problem doing that, right? So in your relationship, like I think in my, like I always say, I'll work on it. It never happens. It's just not a part of my character. So are there things in your relationship that y'all try to like compromise on, but sometimes it may just not, it's just not you, so the other person just
Well,
has
we
to
weren't like
accept
that
it?
at first. Like, we didn't
Yeah.
check in and stuff because we weren't together long enough for it to be habit.
But now more so checking in as a safety thing. It's not like you're keeping tabs on me. it's a safety thing.
To me, it always feels like keeping tabs. I just don't
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I just
yeah. And
don't
like I said before, we both got certain ways. Like I show my affection a little bit different. She's a very like extroverted person. Like she's showing it like constantly.
Like I go shopping.
Like she's constantly showing. She's constantly showing. I love you, man. Hopping and stuff like that. I'm more like.
You should know it in your head.
Yeah, I feel like it's a concrete thing, you know? So me, I can be attached from a situation and still like have the thought like, yo, this is concrete, you know?
Yeah.
But like, and it's like every relationship's about that. And like, she has some stuff that like she still does and she works on. I have some stuff that I still do and I work on, but it's just all about being able to just reciprocate those things. And
like, let's be real here. We are not perfect. Like, he's really trying to make me look good. I'm gonna tell y'all because there are a lot of things he works on himself. Me, he calls me a brat. I'm still a brat. There are still things that I've done for 4 years now, and I haven't fixed. And I told him it's because we don't fight enough. We don't have that many complications for me to practice it and really get my shit together. So I still have my bad habits. Like, what are some of them? Like, okay, when we were first together, let me tell y'all. And it's also different when you live with your spouse. It's different because when we got together, he gonna tell you something happened. I went through his phone and I was like, okay, and I took everything. I took everything in the house. You don't have no pots, no pans, no nothing.
Yo.
No.
You can't eat until you tell me who this is.
And it was our little thing. Like, he had this military hoodie. And, you know, that was my thing. Like, you know, girls wear the guys' clothes. That shit was on this door, at the doorstep. You put this here?
she ripped up the card. She tore it.
Everything. Everything.
The teddy bear?
You're welcome. Bye.
I didn't ask for this. What do you mean I'm welcome?
So, you know.
Wait, that was after you guys moved in together?
Well, yeah, we were together for a couple months, but everything was still fresh, and so that goes into my habit of I was always wanting to leave. Okay, so then it got to the point to where, you know, if we're gonna be together or whatever, you can't leave. So I said, okay, I'm going on the damn couch, or I'm going to the casino or something. I'm going to the store. I'll be back or whatever. And he'd be like, make sure you come back. And even for him, because he rarely gets mad, you know? So one time we got into a big fight. He stormed off and I'm like, but I'm so introverted. So I ain't going to bug you. I'm going to let you go because that's how I am. I'm gone. I don't want to be bothered. I like to drive when I'm mad. I drive. So, you
Public
know?
service announcement. That kind of seems like I've heard of that idea too of like in order to have like real freedom, you need to have like restrictions placed on yourself. So it's like kind of like when you're in a relationship, you're confining yourself to one person, but that opens you up to like so many more things that you wouldn't have if you didn't have those restrictions on your life. Where it's like I have to face these problems even though it's like uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He taught me about vulnerability. Like he's like there was a problem. A big problem in our relationship was you're too independent. I feel like I'm not needed. That's not good as a man. He's a man, he's a provider, whatever, but emotionally for a man, they want to feel like the woman needs them. I did not give him that vibe. I don't know if I do yet, but that was a big problem for us. So like with me working on that or whatever, I make sure I tell him I appreciate you, love you. Little cards. I'm gonna tell y'all something funny. So this was just something, just one of our whatever gifts, one of our just because, right? We always get each other like a whole bunch of cards, like some serious ones, like one serious one, and then the rest are like funny. So it's like 4 or 5 cards, whatever. And I put some Tic Tacs in there because it was the last thing in the aisle. He was like, "What are you saying? What are you saying?"
She gave me a gift bag with Tic Tacs in it. I was like, you gave me hints?
That bread stank.
In his little stuff.
Yeah, so it was like candy and stuff, but Tic Tacs was in it. So I was like, you throwing hints, you throwing shots, but like I said before, it's like
it's definitely important for women to let their man know you love them and appreciate them.
and you just honestly just have to grow with each other, especially we're young. So sometimes
Yeah.
when we get to a point and then when everything's done with, we understand that like you think people that's in 60-year relationships don't fight, they don't butt heads with each other, but at the end of the day it's all about, are you willing to stay in this ring with me? If you're willing to stay in this ring with me, I'm willing to stay in this ring with you. We'll weather the storm, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just like when I say, like when she said we're not perfect, that's correct, because no one is, you know? If you think that all relationships is 50 years long and standing are perfect, you're strongly in denial. There had to be some heads busted being with somebody that long, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Like, let me ask y'all something. Because of our age, right? We're grown. You're not going to listen to somebody because you have to when you're in a relationship, right? Man or woman, you listen to your partner because you're controlled or because you want to, because you respect it. You know? So, like, my bad habits or when I'm a brat or whatever, I listen to him even though I don't want to when we argue because I know what he's saying is right.
No, Jay, shut up.
Okay. No, like that.
no, the thing is, it's like,
That'd be great. That's all you need.
Just like that.
The thing is like, it's all this out of respect, but like we have to listen. So sometimes it's like the stuff that we don't want to hear is the hard stuff you have to swallow and you need to hear, especially like if you, and that's how you're gonna grow. Communication is not always something you want to hear, it's something you need to hear.
And this is what I want to say. A lot of people, they think, I'm not going to tell my partner this because I love them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want them mad at me. But maybe the advice you have to give them, the cold hard truth, is what they need to go to that next level.
Yeah.
Or their family member has never told them.
Yeah.
Or they know deep down in themselves, but because an outside source didn't tell them, they're not going to work on it.
We just help each other in the best ways we can. Like she gave me some very hurtful, like it was hurtful at the moment, but it's something I needed to hear. We was at the mall and something happened here and there, and I hadn't been working at the time. I had just left my job, and I was like, I'm saying I'm an entrepreneur, but I ain't really doing nothing. Like I could be doing so much more at that time, you know. And it was just like it was a wake up call because she was just like,
I was like, we getting old. I'm doing this. You need to do something or this ain't going to work. And that's it.
It definitely was not like that. She's showing out for the podcast. She knows she didn't say it like that. But like,
not like that.
No, but it was just tough. It was just like, yo, like, why this ain't going on? Like, you need to get a job. You need to, like, because the man that I love is the one that was inspired to do stuff. And like at the time, I was making a lot of excuses about injuries. I just got out of the military. I was supposed to get my disability. Everything in my life felt like it was just going wrong at the time, you know? And like sometimes you start beating yourself up, and because you don't do anything, you stay stagnant. And you need somebody to spark that behind you. And it was a hard pill to swallow, but it was one I needed, you know what I mean? Because it was like, yeah, I am slumming right now. Like I need to be doing something with my life. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and I give her stuff too. So like,
Okay, so enough with the relationships. So unless y'all got any more questions.
any more?
No, that was mad insightful though. That was
Badly, it definitely was.
Advice and things that is useful.
You guys should do a podcast. You should do like a couples podcast.
I definitely feel like I'm stuck in the I'm good by myself kind of stage.
Why?
You never had a bitch.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm fine.
This is what
I'm
I tell.
straight.
This is what I tell people, and I tell all my homies, and I tell them all that. Keep playing, because when it's time, you ain't gotta try. Like that's the thing. Like people's like, man, I don't want nothing. Cool, because like when it's time, you're gonna find it. I wasn't looking for her. Like so, when you'll know. Like you don't have to. You could be good by yourself. But like when it happens, it happens. Don't force it. Don't rush it. Don't like, is this it? If you have to contemplate it, I never contemplated. I didn't know where we stood at the moment, but I never contemplated where we could be or where like I thought we would be together. You know what I mean? So like, don't ever force it. Like, do what you doing. I know.
Like we still ask each other.
Do your thing, bro.
Did you think we were gonna be together this long?
Do your thug dizzle. But when it happens, when you find that person, when that person finds you, it's like that. You know, you ain't gotta You ain't gotta do nothing, you know.
I definitely don't feel like you should force anything. Like if it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, don't.
I definitely feel like people that I talk to at least aren't always like honest with themselves about what they want.
Yeah.
Females in particular sometimes like they be telling me like I don't need a man or like I'm not even looking for a relationship right now. But the reality of the situation is, if you was really gonna come across somebody and it was like automatic, like that person was like really good for you, like perfect, like everybody wants that.
Yeah, you just gotta sacrifice. And a lot of people can't do that, you know.
Sometimes.
And that's what it ultimately comes down to. Sacrifice your pride, your ego, especially for men, and then women, their vulnerability. And once you're ready to do that, and then that's when I think a relationship can actually mold and to click. Until those things are ready to happen. Also, like you can't feel like you're missing out, and I think that's a real reason why these quick relationships happen, because they feel like they're missing out. And I think reason why strong relationships happen because you had life, and that's the biggest part, is getting to love yourself, knowing yourself, then go get something else. And that's even outside of relationships. That's just in life and success. Like people want things in life, but then they don't want to do what they need to do to give value to somebody else. Everybody just want to take, and not give, and that doesn't work.
It doesn't go full circle.
It doesn't go full circle. You gotta always fix your home, which is your mind, whatever, your body, whatever, your spirit, and then go connect with something else, because then you're both inputting and outputting to each other. If you don't, one's gonna get drained. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I feel that.
The last thing I'm gonna say is for any woman or man that's single and looking for somebody, don't expect someone to sell you a dream, okay? Say, I'm gonna do this for you and this and that, whatever. If they're not doing that for themselves, that should be the first red flag right there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, I feel that. Some good advice I've heard is try to treat yourself like you would treat someone that you care about. Like how you're trying to treat, like if you were to come across someone and try to treat that person.
Yeah, self-damage. That's one of the biggest things why relationships don't work, because you ain't figured out yourself, but now you trying to add to somebody else, and you got all this other self-damage that you're doing to yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to heal from your scars so you don't bring that into somebody else. Like, why would you... That's like both of y'all trying to get in a car, but you got a flat tire on the passenger side and she got one on the driver's side. And you like, we gonna make it down this road? Like, no, you're not. Patch up your tire, and I'm gonna patch up mine so we can keep it rolling. You know what I mean?
Whose tire gets patched first?
You both have to patch your own tire.
Or help each other.
Or help each other. But it has to be a willing, like I say, sacrifice to do that. If you got pride problems, one, you gotta have love and care in her to allow her in, which is a strong thing for guys to do when it comes to pride and ego, is allow her in and it's like, you know what? She's worth it for me to change myself and to do these things and be a better man, you know? So I can be a better partner, she could be a better partner than me. You know, so, and those things all happen naturally. Like, if you're not gonna communicate, you're not gonna let somebody open into you unless you really feel them and you really feel a connection. They're really out for your good. You know what I mean?
Okay, this is actually my last question about your relationship.
All right, for sure.
I just thought about it, what you just said.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever cried in front of her?
Yes.
How did she react?
It was
He cried when he proposed. He cried when just mad, like out of being sad and frustrated with me. Cried because of his own problem. I just understand. I don't think, why are you crying?
I mean, it's
or
just
stop crying.
She's one of the people that's hard.
He'll
like
cry and I'll cry.
You would think for a female, for the longest time, she tried to cover up, and like when she get mad or sad, she wouldn't want to release it. And like that's one of the biggest things in a relationship. You have to be vulnerable with your partner, because at the end of the day, if you're not vulnerable with them, who are you vulnerable with?
Because we are the opposite. When I'm mad, I don't want to talk to you. And that's just a personal thing. Mm-hmm. And then when I do have like my breakdowns and everything, it's horrible.
So
it's horrible.
You think that's like a little repression or something? Like
Depression?
Repression? Like you're just keeping it inside until finally.
Yeah, because I mean, first instinct is, okay, who cares? Okay, that don't matter. Like, that's so little to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
she's
emotionally,
a
like,
bottle jar type person.
Yeah.
And it's because, and I think it happens, and my mom's the same way. It happens to the most beautiful souls.
Because I'll tell you about yourself.
Because
off
they're
that.
so giving. So when the world doesn't give back, when that finally hits you, you know, you just want to release and be just mad. Because it's like, you give and you care, and it's like, why is this not being reciprocated back? You know,
Yeah.
Like for my birthday, I did a giveaway. I gave away like $1,200 and a PS5, and I was sad that I couldn't give to more people because I did a giveaway.
For your birthday, you did that?
yeah.
Mhm.
It's like on the day you were born.
She gives on her birthday.
That's
And, yeah.
that's
So
a dope
we're
concept.
like, you know, we're just.
Nah, I knew it ain't.
We're just like, as like we were talking before, what I do, I still have a regular job and I do extra stuff on the side, but it's like career-wise, I'm in the, what do you call, like educational field, special ed behavior tech, and work with kids with autism, adults, all that stuff. Nurse and medical billing and coding, like a whole bunch of different stuff, but then I do stuff on the side, right? But then I guess philanthropy-wise, I really give money. Or I teach people how to get money. And we just all get money together. So, I'm so serious. Like, we have to go to the casino together, you guys. I'm so serious. Like, I teach people how to flip money. If I do lose money, it's because I'm giving away house money. I have lost my own money before, you know. But I teach people how to just, okay, come on, let's go. In like 30 minutes, couple hours.
Like a financial advisor type deal?
Not financial advisor. I mean, I could advise people, and I have helped people build credit and with investing and different stuff like that, but just literally flipping money. So, and you can always put that towards other stuff that you're working on towards the future. Or me, I give it away or shop or put it away for the future, like, you know.
So, when you went into being an entrepreneur, were you nervous?
No.
You weren't.
So I'm the opposite. I would literally, I always be listening to stuff and stuff like that, and she always tells me like she's like mixed between it, so she keeps me grounded. But me, if it was my choice, I'll crash and burn being an entrepreneur before I work a 9 to 5. That's just just how I felt. I felt this way since I was a kid, and I never could explain it. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from anything. But I always had the mentality that I'm not broke, I'm not poor, and it's more in life than being complacent, or it's more than life than what people think they want or desire. You know, you deserve to get whatever you work hard for and go get it. And like, I've always been that type of person. So for me, that's always been like, even before I knew what an entrepreneur was, I always had that mindset like, there's more in life. It's more than life working 9 to 5. Going bill to bill and just saying like, yeah, this is cool. No, it's not. Like, to me personally, you know, that's just how I've always felt.
Yeah.
So how do you make money now that you don't? What is your primary source of income in terms of your business and stuff?
So it's an assortment of things. So I have a couple income revenue sources. So I have my book sales, which I still make residually. As well as my sneaker reselling, which I just started now getting to the point where I'm doing silent investing. So getting passive income flow from sneaker resellers that basically started how I started, and I invested in them because now I have the capital to do so. So like, and now I get a passive revenue flow coming in from that. As well as, like I said previously, the clothing company, my company itself, a lot of it doesn't come. Yeah.
That's what you're
Yeah,
wearing
yeah,
right now?
I'm wearing out.
Oh, okay, I saw you guys were both wearing the.
Yeah,
Kasha-
she got her.
Kasha Gang is mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Kasha Gang is her stuff, and then
Okay.
He wears
everything
both
that she.
of ours.
Yeah, I wear both.
That's fire.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
both promoting your own stuff. That's fire.
Yeah, but like, so that's a portion of income that's getting better now. I'm working towards like my New Year's resolution goal is to get to the point where we're 10K steadily revenue every this year, or just regularly every
Just on
month.
his own.
I just on my own. And the problem with that is it's like I want to open up a performance art scholarship grant. So a lot of my money when it comes to my clothing goes straight to that. 70% actually. 70% goes towards me opening up my performance art scholarship grant. So that's how I kind of feed that thing without like it intertwining with other personal things I got going on, as well as investments. I do a little bit of crypto, a little bit of stocks here and there. Trading cards. I flip and sell trading cards and
It's
stuff
really
like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Talk me. I won't do it because
So,
I want to.
so I'm a vendor. So
Nice.
I'll buy like a case, which is like 12 boxes of a whatever previous new set or whatever, and I'll sell what's inside there. It's like the lottery. Like stuff people can like trip about. It's no difference in gambling. I just do it in a different way. You know.
So for example, tell them how much a case would be versus like the profit. if
Okay.
someone was to-
So like a case is typically like $650, $700. But then you have a prize card in that set that could be worth $1,000 on its own.
Wow.
Or a couple hundred on its own.
You don't know what's in there?
Yeah, you don't know. So it's the same thing as gambling, but it's just a little bit more, I would say, in a safe route, because you do know how many hits you're going to get. And like if you do have a good property marketing and the people, the customers or whatever, it pays off. Just look at, I don't know if y'all know anything about Logan Paul or any of these people, but like look at like just people and celebrities buying all these old Pokemon packs because Charizard is worth like $12 million, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's crazy that the stuff that we took advantage of as a kid, you know, getting Jordans and stuff from my parents when they did give it to us or whatever. And like you look back and like, man, that stuff is worth something. So that's the mentality I have now. It's like always thinking ahead of the game, like, yo, this can be worth something in the future. So when you brought up assets, sneakers are an asset. Literally at one point, I think it was, we had to do something and I cracked open, like, when I say I cracked open, I went to the inventory, I grabbed like 2 shoes and had our money for our trip or whatever we wanted to do. Like, seriously, it's an asset, you know, and it doesn't depreciate as hard either. Because there's always a supply and demand. And the longer something's out and somebody else can't get it, the more like demand comes with that.
And one thing I will say is people who invest, they always invest in more than one thing. So you have so many different network opportunities and stuff. It's just huge.
So do you feel like, because some people get into this when they're doing the entrepreneur thing and they don't want to have like, they don't want to be a 9-to-5er and stuff, instead of, you know how the work-life balance with a 9-to-5, people say they spend a lot more time at work as opposed to they do like free time and stuff because you got to work 5 days and you get off 2 days. Yeah. Then they transition to being an entrepreneur and then they work like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you give yourself a good work-life balance?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that like right now I really feel like I'm still in the fundamental period. So I work like, and that's the thing. I think the misconcept of an entrepreneur. Everybody throw that word around, and it's like it's not happy-go-lucky. You quit your job and now you making bread. Like there's some hard times. There's some depressing times. You have to. It takes money to make money, and like I worked like what 5 jobs, something like that. Like I worked jobs until I was able to get the capital and like actually be able to be at this point where I'm at now. And like it's nothing wrong with that. Like don't misplace. So, like my thing is when people say that 9-to-5 thing, I say it in a place of like it's not that I don't want to work. People start saying I don't want a 9-to-5, but they're lazy. Like that's not the case when you're an entrepreneur. If anything, you have to work harder. Because you have to make your own schedule. Ain't nobody telling you to come in, clock in, and do a mediocre job at work and then get paid at the end of the week. Nobody's doing that. If you don't work, you don't eat. Like, that's how it works. So until you get to a certain point, so you have to constantly be grinding and developing skills that aren't really talked about. Being able to have discipline. Yeah, it might be easier to sleep in, but guess what? You slept in for a month, now you ain't got rent. Like, so you have to understand the balance of workflow, time management, and you have to start getting these things that most like supervisors and stuff understand. You have to get it for yourself because no one's over your head top telling you what to do. So you have to be very mindful of how you implement your time if you want this to work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The best time to do it. And I the best time to do it is like when you're young. Like people always say do it when you're older. When you get older, then you get your life together and you want to do this. do it now. We don't have kids. We're still young.
We
still can
literally
move.
had this lecture like 2 nights ago.
We can still move. It's time to do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my biggest thing, I was telling her, I guess it's kind of weird to say when it was happening, but I was in the shower. We was like, we just talking. She don't give me no privacy, so we was having a conversation. Babe, you know what I'm thinking about?
No,
Literally. I don't even get a poop break, bro. Like,
Why did y'all poop out of it?
I swear, bro. But like, nah, it's all good. But like, no, I was telling her, and it's like something that clicked with her is like, we can work our ass off at a 9 to 5 or whatever, and like not even trying to put that against anybody that do that. Do your hustle, do your thing. But at the end of the day, legacy are carried by businesses, not 9 to 5s. You can't give your kid your 9 to 5. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard what you do, you will never be able to give them that. But what you can give them, if you're a barber, you can give them that barber shop. You can give them the legacy of Dream, Think, Achieve when it's, you know, when it's that point, and they carry on that scholarship and all these other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're creating those legacy things. You're creating those fundamentals for your child to continue on with. No matter how hard you work for somebody else, you can't give your kid that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to still go out, get that resume, do that job, get those skills requirements, go in that field. Mm-hmm. It's totally different when it's your company. And you could take them from the ground up and like, look, this is how this works. This is money management. This is marketing. This is logistics.
You guys know who Grant Cardone is?
Yeah.
I love him. I love his family.
I'm more of a Gary Vee guy, but
More of a Gary Vee guy.
100% agree with you with entrepreneurship I feel like it's way harder because I'm still in school right now and I still got like 3 years left and it's kind of like a delayed gratification kind of thing because at a certain point it's where the level of schooling that I am and the entrepreneurship that you are, I guess, it's kind of down to like money and what you want to do.
yeah.
But it's also like the level of, because I feel like it's a lot harder because doing school, I have a roadmap. I take these classes, I get these grades, I get to this degree, I get this job.
It's a give and go. So entrepreneurship, the give and go is you make it to a certain point, you don't know where your next check coming from, and that's one of her biggest things that she's fearful of.
Until stuff gets like passive. But
the roadmap, the give and go is you don't have your own time. You're still being told what to do. You don't have those freedoms, but you still get that stability. You know what I mean? So it's always a pros and cons to everything. And I think it's just honestly with the whole entrepreneurship, people think you have to start with millions. You don't. Start small. Just do it. Literally, I never in a billion years thought I would write my own book and let alone have it published in the San Diego Public Library. I would never think that. But you won't get there or get to that point unless you just start somewhere. For the longest time, Dream, Think, Achieve was something I just said as a kid. And then somebody wrote a sketch and a logo for me. And literally 5 years later, now we got clothing. It's all about just having the mindset and just continually to keep striving towards something. Even if you don't have the capital for it. Sometimes right now, I write out finances that I know I don't have right now. But just writing out those finances so you can see it, visually see where you want to be. You know what I mean? And like every day, like even if you can't pay for the item that you need for your company, just researching it a little bit every day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And getting yourself adaptable. So when that time comes, you're ready. You know what I mean?
Like he yells at me all the time because I have so much of my
This girl
own
is so
stuff.
freaking gifted, and I feel like she be
And
wasting it
the
sometimes.
website that I have right now, I built it in like a week. My new website that I haven't released yet, my new product, my logo, I create all of that. So he says when we go somewhere business-wise or whatever, I turn into a different person because I'm very serious. I'm 5'1", but you ain't gonna play with me. Like I'm very different. I don't know, and just about you being in school and everything. I think a lot of people think it's too much behind it when it's really not. If you have a saying, if you have your podcast or whatever, you can literally put your logo on the corner of a t-shirt, wear that around school. We said we're gonna have our own clothing because I'm tired of buying hoodies and stuff. We have cool stuff. people like us, they gonna support it or whatever. I'm gonna wear my own shit in San Diego. So people be like, oh, I like those glasses. I have sunglasses, vitamins, clothes, and all this stuff. And when you wear your own stuff, that's free marketing, and you get to see what works and what doesn't for your consumers. You're not paying for that. You're walking around wearing your own crap.
Yeah.
People like it or not. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. This is mine. Like, how does that feel? You get what I'm saying? And it's really easy. There's so many people coming from San Diego. They started their t-shirt business, right? Go on to Fam Bam, Fan Mart, T-shirt Mart, all that stuff. They're making money off of it from people that support them. That's really all it starts as.
That's dope.
It's so simple.
Start.
It's really simple.
And I think another thing is it's like people have big goals, and sometimes big goals can get overwhelming. So you need to chop them up to small goals. You know, you don't have to start with a passive income flow of $50,000 a month or whatever like that. Just start somewhere. Find your opening wherever that is. If it's just a sketch at this point, sketch it out. You know what I mean? And start manifesting it. And start small. Like me and her, our very first clothing item, we really just went into a print shop.
We went together.
We went to the print shop and got like these little
our little prototypes.
I call them the car salesman coat. You know, it's not a full
It has that
zipper.
zipper that
It's
goes
not a
right
full
here.
zipper. It's like a polo, but it's not like a hoodie either. It's like that professional. Like, you know, you've seen car
Like it
salesman.
only zips down like.
Yeah, it only zips down a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
We went and got one of those and just put our logos on it, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels so good to represent yourself. And you look, that's what people do. Ford, he gets Fords, you know? Tesla, he buys Teslas. Invest in yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel better. I don't even buy a lot of clothes now. I literally just, if I'm going everyday wear or whatever,
We wear our own
I'll wear
stuff.
my own stuff, you know? And then sometimes I can dress this up and it be fine as a fit. You know what I mean? So it's just like honestly starting to invest in yourself, not putting, I guess, like buying somebody else's dream, buy your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you want to do.
I'm in love with y'all.
Yeah, like what he said. I feel like I'm gonna give him a compliment, but I feel like he's so much of an alpha male. His big problem is he don't want to work for nobody. He don't care what his resume looks like, overqualified, high pay or not. It's another man paying him. That's how he looks at it. I'm in the medical field, so it's different. I say this is me helping people because I really love that. So that's why, like, I sit on my stuff my new stuff. I've had it for a year.
Yeah, she works because she wants to help people. Honestly, it's not because
I have to.
Not because she has to, because she wants to help people.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is coming from the military field and the logistics field is I felt like, and even after I got out, I feel like I'm so qualified but so young, not even trying to be on some like brag type stuff. When it comes to the stuff that I've done in the military and stuff like that, I'm overqualified to be. I get these jobs and these positions offered to me because I'm young. Very well, I have the same resume somebody 33 has. Why should I waste my time building your empire, giving you my ideas? And this happened so many times where I was working at Amazon and I gave them an idea that they're using to this day that built their productivity by 30%. No credit, you know what I mean? And that's been my life thing with logistics, doing stuff and getting no credit. I be damned, like I work for myself and give myself all the credit and toot my own horn. Like I don't need to do that, you know what I mean? Especially after a while when I'm at a position in my life where I can work on myself every day and make my dream and my legacy for my family better, you know what I mean? Versus taking that time and putting it elsewhere and giving it to somebody that don't even appreciate it. So
Yeah. This is the best podcast we had.
So far, I would say.
I want to bring it back to y'all first question.
underpaid, undervalued. That's the problem that I had with the whole system.
And no time.
In no time.
The whole 9 to 5. It's
'Cause you get
what
tired.
you tell me is just over broke.
That's what it's for.
It's just
Like,
system.
That's what it is. That's what a job is. Just over broke. It's a system that keeps you comfortable where you're at. Like
Think about it. you need to work until you're 60 and get the retirement, whatever. When we're 60 and stuff, we gonna have health problems. We can't travel. We can't enjoy all the money that we save.
And there's so many. That's my thing. That's my biggest motivator. And like, it's so funny for me. And my biggest motivator is seeing somebody young in a nice car, seeing somebody young in something. Because it's like, you're 60 and you're telling me all that you got from all your hard work at 60 is a Ferrari. That hurts your neck, so you don't really speed on it because you don't even want to be in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my thing is like always trying to get things and being able to enjoy life while you still are able to enjoy life. What's the point? I just don't see a point personally for myself. And like I'm saying, I'm speaking personally. I don't see a point in that. I work my life off and I work my butt off for a materialistic thing that now I can't even enjoy. It's like a slap in the face, really. Like
it's like that. I've seen that one political cartoon or whatever. Where it's like a person chasing money or whatever. He has like a couple bills in his hands, and he gets the next one. He has like a bag, and the next one he has like a bunch of nice clothes. But then it's like the edge of a cliff, and it's like his grave right there.
Yeah,
it's just like well, now jump
Like,
in with
come
all the
on.
money.
Let's talk about YouTubers. How many of our favorite YouTubers are big now with millions of followers? And they started just maybe like talking to their friends in their house, like, you know, and now they're influencers, millions of dollars,
Consistency.
AdSense, you know, a following. And I think when I was talking about the whole power couple thing, I feel like we're only a power couple because, okay, cool, we do. But it's about what you give back. You know, celebrity-wise, people say, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're not teaching nobody anything. Jay-Z kind of does, yeah, he invests for the black side, whatever. But what are you really, what is the free game that you're giving? Free game. It's not, buy my course, guys. I have this webinar on sale, okay, for a week and whatever. It's free game that you want to give your friends and your family because you want to see everybody win because you're already winning. So
Grant Cardone's that real estate guy, right?
I love him.
He's a real estate guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you guys dabbled in real estate at all?
Yeah.
He knows all that.
Yeah, so I wholesaled a little bit. Like I said, when I say I hustled, man, I did it all, bro. Amway, insurance, freaking water bottle selling. Name it, I've tried it. Like, and just because I've always tried to find a different way.
So he actually did the courses,
So,
like
yeah,
the
I did,
textbooks. He did the real thing.
Yeah, so I'm working on. I need to get back on it. Knock on wood. I was working on my real estate license for a little bit because I got tired of paying the middleman. When you're a wholesaler, there's a lot of jurisdictions and restrictions that you have.
And it's land,
that
so
you,
it's different.
Yeah, that you have that's different because you have to deal with the investor, you have to deal with the person that you're home buying, you got to deal with escrow, you got to deal with all these people that you have to pay for the contracts because you can't do the contracts yourself because you're not a legal real estate agent, you know.
You can bypass all that if you get a real estate license?
Yeah, you bypass the stuff that I had to do at a wholesale point. I would make probably, if a real estate agent's making, let's say $30,000 on the deal, I'm making like
3,000.
Yeah, like 10.5, like, or like what he said, because there's so many people I have to pay out at the end of the day because I can't legally do anything in my name. All I'm doing at this point is just being Cupid. I'm going to investors that lazy and like, hey, what are you looking for? Because most wealthy people are lazy. They want passive things. So it's like, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
And I put in my sweat equity. I find the properties, the distressed homes they're looking for. I go with that homeowner and be like, hey, what is the issue behind, you know, what's going on here? Like, I see the grass being cut, whatever the case may be, whatever I have to do. And I'm like, yeah, like, we're kind of behind. Like, we really, and like, cool. This investor is willing to give you a cash offer. You know, you get that middle portion. You get your finder's fee or whatever. But that's totally different from being a real estate agent because then it's legit. Like, I'm coming in as an agent, so I'm getting MLS listings. I'm getting to see certain stuff that I would never be able to see, HOAs and all that type of stuff. And overall, your margins of what you get from the home, you know.
Just off that, having that qualification?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's a tip right there.
So.
Oh yeah, you do want to do that, huh?
You do?
Like real estate?
Oh yeah.
Forgot, yeah.
So.
Say no, yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I did that to start off with.
Yeah, that's dope. Whenever I see, I don't know, I feel like real estate is the way to go.
Yeah, real estate definitely, like, once we get to that certain point, I'm definitely investing in some real estate. Like, that's definitely
That'll be the next podcast we do.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, now I got 600 units and
Definitely.
How I make $1 million a year buying and selling real estate. Like,
sick.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
We don't know how to end these.
let's put you on the hot seat to end it.
Oh,
What's your favorite thing about Najee? You got 5 seconds to answer.
favorite thing?
5.
It's her
4.
personality and pureness.
Wow. So dry.
Personality.
Najee, what's your
Aw.
favorite thing about Keon?
He's
5, 4,
Well,
3.
there's a lot, so it's gonna be past 5 seconds. So I can't.
She's so
deep.
clever. She's
Breaking rules.
Oh, there's so much. I don't know where to start, but if you really want me to go,
No, it's so much that I can't even start. But he's taught me more about myself than I could probably learn on my own. Like I said, he taught me about vulnerability, accepting things when I was telling y'all about my anxiety and all that stuff. I couldn't come to terms with my grandfather passing, right? It's 4 years later and I still have problems about it. And it's like, wow, when I'm crying, this man is there. And it's so like, I'm not being obnoxious because he understands, or he tries to help me understand. And for me, y'all know what a sapiosexual is like, when you learn things and it just turns on the brain, learning stuff and whatever. That's how I am. So just everything that he teaches me, the love he gives me that I don't get from my own family and whatever, how we all look for that void and stuff. It's like, dang, this man, he's not shit. Because how we be like, oh, he ain't shit. He's not shit. He is this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Double negatives.
Did it come out right?
Yeah,
So.
dude. Your vows must have been popping when you guys
Yeah.
got married.
Well, it's not even really like a traditional thing. Like that's crazy. It's so cliche. It's so cliche. If you don't want to get married in a white dress, you don't need to wear. I'm covered in tattoos. That's not conventional. Especially getting married. I mean, we did it correctly. We don't have kids yet. Okay, cool. We did that right.
Do you really not have kids? I'm just saying.
Well, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to jump over the broom because we black and all this stuff. You know, like you do whatever you want to do. So
You hear that, girl? You're not getting nothing from me.
Hey, yo.
oh my gosh. And his birthday's coming up. Is this Friday actually?
Oh, happy birthday! Let's sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Just the end
Happy
part.
birthday. Black
Are you
version.
gonna Stevie Wonder?
Happy birthday, dear Keon. Happy birthday, dear Keon.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Keon.
Yo.
Happy birthday to you,
How old are you turning?
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're young as fuck.
little ass boy.
I gotta try harder.
How old are you?
We already 25.
You 25?
Yeah.
You 25?
I couldn't tell.
Alright, for sure.
I'm dead.
You 25 too, right, Jonathan? We are the same age, right? We was all born in the same year. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you guys want to shout out your brands for the 10 people that are gonna watch this?
Let me shout out Lil Earl and them. Day Day. Shit, if you watching, you feel me? We make. Nah, just playing. Not necessarily.
Think, dream, achieve.
Yeah, we keep ourselves.
Your brands?
I mean, we wearing it, but that's.
Okay.
You said shout out what?
Your brands?
Oh,
Just so people know. Just so
so
people
we're
know where
doing
to buy
clothes.
your
I thought you
clothes.
said friends.
Oh, nah, I'm dead. I was like, what's?
Yeah, that's why I started doing a little bit. But brands,
Just
yeah,
so people know
just
where to buy them.
yeah. For me, one second.
I actually looked you guys up just now.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was like,
What did you find?
Or how about, do you guys have any like questions for people that might want to do something, or questions that you guys think might come across? Or
How did you get into wholesaling? Like, what was your first thing to get into? Because usually when I see wholesaling online, people always say like I watch interviews and stuff. People always say, "Oh, wholesaling. You don't have to be a real estate agent. You can be
So
easy
for
wholesaling,
me- So for me, when I first got to California, I guess we got to backtrack a little bit. I had gotten MRSA and when I was in the military, and I was on my near deathbed for like 2 months in ICU for 2 months, and then in the hospital for another month. And like I kind of was like really in a very dark, depressing place in my life. So I was just like, yo, like if you get me out of this situation,
I'm gonna sell houses.
no, I was just like, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do the things that I say I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna let life hold me back in any type of way.
Yeah.
So I had already developed that type of mindset. So when I got to California, I was like, I need to meet people like that. So I was already open to the mastermind thing and stuff like that. So I end up, I don't necessarily know how I met this person. But then they end up inviting me to a mastermind in downtown, like in the, I don't want to give out locations, but in downtown in the Skylines. And I just met like millionaires, and I end up getting a little mentor. And then he was doing the wholesaling thing with land and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, I'm a sponge, you know? And like, it just, you know, you have to learn to invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. I ended up starting to invest in myself, reading, and was like, okay, I'm going to try this out, you know? So.
You said mastermind? Is that like a...
Yeah, so a mastermind is basically where a group of collectives come together. They're all doing different things, or maybe doing the same thing. You can have real estate niche. It can either be a male mastermind, a female, or a co.
Or all entrepreneurs.
Or just all. And you just get together and you all talk about the things you're doing and how you can better each other and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's dope. It's kind of like what this is. Terrorize, we're all broke. Not fun.
No, bro, you don't have to be necessarily even with money. Like it was really cool. Me and her went out with my homie, and we just sat we went to like
There was
a
just 4
bagel
of us.
spot, and we just kicked ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mastermind. Like y'all together, kick ideas. You said you wanted to do something. You got something you want to do. He got something you want to do. Kick ideas. And I guess my last thing to end it all off was just like, I was just watching Mr. Beast. I don't know if you guys know
We
who that
love
is.
him.
But y'all guys know who Mr. Beast is?
A white nigga with a lot of money on YouTube.
So
I rented out this stadium so you guys can play Squid Games.
so basically, he's very insightful. He's same age as us. He's
No way.
Yeah, he's the second largest on YouTube now. He's the same age as us.
I thought he was like a grown, like a
He's
grown.
You look old, huh?
He
Yeah.
started like he was like 16. Yeah, same age as us.
Especially with a name like Mr. Beast. Like,
I'm the
come on,
type
that's
of
an
person.
old man name.
I'm the type of person I don't get idolized by celebrities and stuff like that. And there's only a very slight few people I respect. He's one of those people I respect, and he was on a podcast, and he was just talking. The last thing I'll give out is people fail because they don't want to give knowledge. You trying to do it on your own and not mastermind and not click with people. And he gave an analogy like this: 2 people. One person, they're doing it on their own. They make a mistake. They learn from it. They keep going. They make another mistake. They learn from it. They keep going. Their level of growth is about 10 years. Now you give that same person and they have a mastermind. They're all going at it. That person that makes a mistake, he tells people about that mistake they made. Now that other person told him about that mistake. So the first person in the first situation, when they was making a mistake and kept going, they had to keep making all these mistakes on their own, and they had to learn from them. Versus now, you could have kept going. The road goes longer now because it's like, I'm not going to make that mistake because that person already told me. And by the time that growth now is in 5 years, it's cut short for everybody versus that one person. You know that blueprint, you know what I mean? So that's the beauty of finding people that's like-minded like you. So when you're all traveling, mistakes are bound to happen. But having somebody that makes that mistake and you can learn from it, and they can learn from your mistakes.
As a team,
They help you. It helps you grow, and it cuts you exponentially. And people think that I gotta do it for myself, or people gonna drag me down. Like it's only one of us can be at the top, but that's not necessarily the case. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Especially if the mistakes like some detrimental stuff.
Yeah, like we went on a cruise, and it was so crazy that like people that have things going for themselves,
They share.
they share. Wealthy share because it's the fact that it's like air. When you feel like you don't have enough air, you have to get it. You have to take it all, you know.
Yeah.
But once you have wealth and you have success for yourself, you can share it. You don't think about it, you know. People,
Yeah.
when you think about money, it's so tight. Like, I need that. That's mine. But when you get to a certain point in life, you start thinking about it just how you breathe, you know. And everybody can have air to breathe.
That makes sense because like I feel like a lot of people that don't have money see people in the same light, like see people that are rich in the same light or like from the same perspective that they see things. Like if you were to be like from that analogy, like a person that doesn't have a lot of air, doesn't want to give out a lot of air, they're probably gonna think that a person that has a lot of air is also not gonna want to give out a lot
Yeah,
of
but
air.
that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in layman's terms, let me tell y'all, if you see someone that's wealthy or doing better than you, there's two people. Either you're gonna be envious or you're gonna want to learn from that person that's
Yeah.
doing good
Yeah.
because you want to do good.
And then just another thing is find one billionaire or even like multi-millionaire that has not given back to their team, that has not built somebody else up. And that in itself, those are what creates legacies. You doing it on your own does not create a legacy. That does not make you last world renowned for the rest of the time, even after you're dead. It's those people in those like scholarships, stuff like that you've done and you help somebody else, that creates your legacy.
Yeah.
Even long after you're dead, you know what I mean? So that's just that next step up in life. Like once you're rich is cool. But when you want to get wealthy, you got people up under you that you'd have made rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't name a single wealthy person that has not helped somebody else. Because it just don't work that way.
Plus, it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
But that's different.
Charity.
Yeah, technically it's a tax write-off
I like
too.
it.
No.
So
Hell yeah. That's rich people talk right there. Y'all are great. You guys should like do a website or podcast or something.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having us. And happy New Year.
I wonder how long this is gonna last. Alright guys, that was the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for chilling and rocking out with us. I am Alex, that's my co-host.
Tavion,
And that's our little sister.
Birdies.
As you guys can see, we always keep her covered up because she got the heavies. And that is the podcast for you guys.
Yo.
Thank you guys.